Family and friends, we're gathered here today not to witness the beginning of what will be, but rather to mark the next milestone of that which already is. The next chapter in a book half written. More importantly, we are here today to celebrate with these three deeply committed couples, Billy and Iris, Tracy and Roy, Joe and Wendell, the wondrous and joyful occurrence that has already taken place in their lives and the commitment they make today. In the mid-1500s, the Church of England passed what was known as the Uniformity Act. The act required everyone to believe the same way. However, a group called the Puritans did not go along or agree with the act, and for the next 50 years, the Puritans were persecuted for not following the rest of the people. In approximately 1609, the Puritans were granted permission to travel to the New World, where they could live and believe, within reason, how they chose. For the next 100+ years, they flourished, but before long, they were fighting not only for their survival, but also for their freedom. And in 1776, they indeed gained full independence.
Let freedom ring.
Since that time, America has gained its independence, and for the next 87 years, black people were enslaved just for being different and misunderstood. In 1863, what is known as the Emancipation Proclamation gave them, at least, their freedom. During the approximate time period, in 1848, women began assembling and demanding that their votes be heard, and what is known as the women's right movement began to take shape. In 1920, they finally got their right to vote.
Let freedom ring.
Even though black people won their freedom, they were still not treated as equals, but rather as second-class citizens. People stood strong and tall against the opposition and hate that faced them. Such notables as an elementary school girl, a bus rider, and a doctor. And in 1964, with the stroke of the mighty pen, the Civil Rights Act was born, and the long road to equality marches on.
Let equality ring.
In 1969, America witnessed for the first time the gay movement in what was known as the Stonewall Riots. Like black people, gays were beaten and jailed just for being different and misunderstood. And like black people, gay men would not be denied. They continued believing in who they were. They stayed the course.
Let equality ring.
35 years later, in 2004, Massachusetts became the first state in America to voluntarily issue its first gay license and marry its first gay couple. Like the Civil Rights Act, it was the first time gay people actually felt recognized as somewhat equal.
Let equality and freedom ring.
10 years later, now it's 2014, and the state of Idaho is required to recognize equality and issue its first gay marriage license to one of its own and marry the first gay people.
Let freedom and equality continue to ring.
And now I would like to acknowledge the length of time each of these couples had to wait for their right to equality. Billy and Iris, 16 years. Tracy and Roy, 16 years. Joe and Wendell, 20 years. May we have the rings, please. Wedding rings are made precious by our wearing them. Your rings say that even in your uniqueness, you have chosen to be bound together. Let these rings also be a sign that love has substance as well as soul, a present as well as a past, and that despite its occasional sorrows, love is a circle of happiness, wonder, and delight. May these rings remind you of the vows you take here today. Billy and Iris, in the presence of family and friends, do you vow to continue to honor and cherish each other through sickness and health, for rich or for poor, to support one another in each other's goals?
We do.
As you exchange rings, say, with this ring I thee wed.
With this ring, I do wed.
Through the power vested in me by the state of Idaho, I do hereby declare you lawfully married. Tracy and Roy, in the presence of family and friends, do you vow to continue to honor and cherish each other through sickness and health, for rich or for poor, to support one another in each other's goals? And now, as you exchange rings, say, with this ring, I do wed.
With this ring, I do wed.
And through the power vested in me by the state of Idaho, I do hereby declare you lawfully married. Joe and Wendell, in the presence of family and friends, do you vow to continue to honor and cherish each other through sickness and in health, for rich or for poor, to support one another in each other's goals?
We do.
As you exchange rings, say, with this ring, I do wed.
With this ring, I do wed.
With this ring, I thee wed.
And now through the power vested in me by the state of Idaho, I do hereby declare you lawfully married. Inasmuch as that all participants are finally and lawfully married, each of you may now share your first wedded kiss with your respective spouse. Friends and family, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Billy and Iris, Tracy and Roy, Joe and Wendell, three couples, newlyweds all.
Just put your paws up, 'cause you were born this way, baby.
Hello, I'm Noel, and
And you don't know how to talk on the microphone.
I know. I don't know how to sing either, Iris, so Don't be too disappointed. That's why I don't do karaoke very often. Just in the privacy of one or two people, so we only have to clean up the blood from a few people's ears. So I was really honored to be able to be asked to do the toast today, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be involved with with this celebration and everything. And it's so awesome that we're at this point. So I'm humbled and honored to be able to be a part of this celebration today. We all have that moment where we look into the mirror and staring back, we ask those questions. Who am I? Who have I become? Am I happy with who I am? And where do I fit in? And I think that all of these folks up here, they answered back and they knew who they were. And they weren't afraid to stand out and be who they are. Longing to find their soulmate and the person that they would spend the rest of their lives with, as we all do. They dared to dream big and put it all out there. No more hiding, pretending, or avoiding. An awakening had occurred in all of them. Through perseverance, standing strong, with unwavering resolve to bring about change and give them equality is why we're here today to celebrate the unity of these families. Finally, these families can have the same rights as other families. Families should not be defined by anyone. Family are the people that we love unconditionally, the ones that we would take in, the ones that we would give our shirt off our back, and the ones that we would die for because they would be standing by our side to the end. Family does not have to be by blood or born into. Family is earned through love, compassion, sacrifice, and a deeply soulful recognition of beyond anything physical. Side by side, they will walk through this life as one, always being there to pick each other up and be by their side, triumphant because their love stands strong. Some of the most difficult times will leave you with the greatest memories. That's when we're at our best. As Maya Angelou would say, still I rise. And these families will rise, and their love will stand strong. One of my favorite poets is Maya Angelou, and Still I Rise is one of my favorite poems from Maya Angelou. So I've modified this just a little bit for today, and I'd like to read that. You may write them down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod them in the very dirt, but still, like dust, they'll rise. Does their sassiness upset you? Why do you beset with gloom? Because they walk like they've got oil wells pumping in their living room? Just like moons and like suns, with certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still they'll rise. Did you want to see them broken, bowed head, lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by their soulful cries? Does their haughtiness offend you? Don't take it awful hard, because they laugh like they've got gold mines digging in their backyard.